Hi guys, I'm Ambry and this is Ambrescorner and welcome back to another video. Today's video is Let's Play in Makeup. It is Thursday, well it's Friday now. Friday the 30th, May the 30th, and I am off work. I decided at the last minute tonight to go ahead and film a video. This month is almost over with and I'm behind on all of my videos for June, and I kind of want to pick up the speed a little bit because I got other content that I'm going to be doing in the next couple weeks. Probably more likely this, I'm gonna start some of it this weekend, but yeah, I got some other stuff I want to be doing, and you know, I'm just trying to kind of get a little head start on everything or whatever. So yeah, and nothing changed in my life except from the last time I talked to y'all. Work is work, you know. I mean, that's all I can say about it. In the last Let's Play in Makeup I did touch on the show House of Pains or whatever. And so last night editing, you know how long that video was? That video was 45 minutes long. I only got it down to about 32 minutes. So we still got like a lot of editing left to do. I've been editing all week. I started last night binge editing and I just been on the road with it, so I'm trying to keep up with that, and I've edited everything and I've uploaded everything and I've scheduled everything to go out, so I'm pretty much good. I think the only thing I gotta do is like film like short form content, and that's some stuff I'm going to get to work on this weekend. But let's get into why we're actually here tonight. I know I told y'all that earlier this year that I want to focus more on makeup. That's what I've been enjoying lately. Like, that's what I spend most of my time thinking about, watching, doing, wanting to do. You know what I mean? Just, I'm always like eager to learn like new techniques, especially when it comes to this sector. And so, like I said, I've been purchasing like a whole lot of products, and one product I'm going to go with today is One Size. I've heard good things about One Size. I know that One Size is an awesome brand. As far as I'm concerned, I've never heard a bad word about it. Everybody that uses it speaks highly of it in my eyes. But One Size has never really been like something I'm drawn to. Like, when I got my first setting powder was like a drugstore brand, and then my first high-end setting powder was I fell in love with that like instantly. And so then after that, you know, I just been like purchasing like setting powders. You know, I've been getting into like different setting powders and stuff like that. So yeah, but a month ago, I believe, I want to say it was, OS came out with a bunch of like peach tone setting powders that was mostly demographic towards the darker complected girls, the browns, the blacks, all of us. It was like mostly for us. You know, Huda came out with like a purple setting powder dedicated to like the tans and stuff like that, but you know, we really didn't have a setting powder, you know, for our skin complexion. And so One Size said, okay, Huda covered the tan girlies, let us get the, you know, melanated girlies. So that's what One Size did, and it basically started trending on TikTok, which is how I ended up finding about it. Because like I said before, anytime I found a product by a higher end on TikTok, it's only ever been available on TikTok. I have never been able to go into Sephora and purchase it. This was like the first item that I was able to go into Sephora and purchase, like hands down. So yeah. So I watched quite a bit of content related to it, even not just TikTok content, YouTube content, like any kind of content that I could get my hands on. I was watching it, you know, just really trying to get a feel for what people thought of the product. And I said, okay. And the one color I kept hearing meant for my complexion was the Rich Peach one. So I think they came out with like maybe 3 or 4 internals. I know one was Marigold, Rich Peach. It was another peach. The 2 that I heard the most for my skin complexion was Marigold and Rich Peach. But I was like kind of more in love with like Rich Peach, just because it kind of fit like the color of, like, you know, my undertones, and it kind of stood like out to like the kind of look I wanted to go for. Now I have used this a couple times and it's not my favorite. I will say that it's not my favorite, but I think maybe tonight I'm ready to give like a fair shot. So that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that tonight. I was so tired today, y'all. Like I had a doctor's appointment like what time? Like about 7 this morning. And I had to go in for that, and I had to wake up about 6 this morning for my doctor's appointment, and I had to be there about 7:50, and it was not fun. It was not fun for me. This morning, like I was ready to lay it down today. Then I had to go to work, like not the kind of day that I would brag about. I finally had like to go get me a Red Bull today because I just was gonna fall over. Cause I got home after my doctor's appointment and I just could not sleep. I could not get myself to go back to sleep. It probably wasn't because I was hungry, but I wasn't gonna go out and get nothing to eat because I knew what I wanted later on in the day. So, you know, I was kind of like looking forward to having that meal. So I just kind of like made myself suffer, but I paid for it in the long run. So yeah. So I just went in with my favorite CC cream, and this is in deep bronze. I love this CC cream. It's like top tier, from top tier. I got my eye on another foundation. And it's by Juvia's Place, and I want it so bad. But I have not been able to get it or to get my hands on it and do a little eye look tonight. If you can't tell, so yeah, I did go ahead and do that. Oh, and I'm just going in with my Maybelline Fit Me concealer tonight. I don't know why, but I really like this concealer. I like the way it looks on me, so I just want to go in with it tonight. So yeah. But yeah, so like I said, I talked to y'all last time about House of Pain, and I got into, you know, my thoughts and stuff about Miss Ella and stuff like that. But last night I was thinking about some things that stood out to me. I was thinking about it because I was editing the video last night, and I was just thinking about everything that had transpired since the first set of seasons we got ever of House of Pain. And I like, for the world of me, like I said in the video, Miss Ella is a beloved character, and I have never seen Miss Ella treat somebody the way that she's treating Laura at the moment. And I said, dang, like I forgot my bronzer. I was like, dang, what's going on? Like, Miss Ella ain't never treated nobody like the way she's doing Laura right now. And so, you know, like I said, Laura like been trying to figure out why Miss Ella is giving her the cold shoulder, you know. And I said, I told y'all that Miss Ella basically like she gaslit that girl when she came to that house to talk to her. Agreement with her or anything. Like, she just wanted Laura to admit she was wrong and she come off scot-free. That's what I got from that. And so I was like, dang, what's going on with Miss Ella? She's like never been like this cold with, you know, anybody before. Like, and it's given. And then like the fact that she's already done admitted out loud that she doesn't like this girl. She didn't admit it to Laura, but like it's been said that she doesn't like Laura. And she said it. And she said she cannot figure out for the world of her why she doesn't like this girl. And so that got me thinking. It's a lot of stuff with Calvin and Miranda that transpired. And we remember a lot of what happened that led to, you know, them breaking up or whatever, you know. Calvin went through a lot in I think that's that last first of the seasons that Tyler Perry released. Calvin had went through, like, he had got shot. They ended up losing the condo and had to move in with Miss Ella and Mr. Curtis. You know, just a lot happened. Then around that time as well, Miranda was heavily pregnant when they started having the financial trouble. And Calvin even admitted to himself that he wasn't like the best at that time. Like, there was a lot of areas that he could have been better at. Remember, everything that happened with Miranda and Calvin, like when they moved into that complex, Miranda bought that complex for them. You know, when Calvin became like co-owner of the barbershop, Miranda put that money down. So a lot of the things at the beginning of their marriage, Miranda was doing. Calvin wasn't doing it. It wasn't until she left him that Calvin really started to get together. And I believe it was because Calvin was like literally fighting for his marriage. Like, so, and just thinking about everything I'm saying, Calvin bought that condo back. And now he's living in it. So you living in the condo. Everybody seems to forget that. But you living in the condo that you and your ex-wife lived in together as a married couple. You're living in it. And so you don't move the girl that you finna marry now into it. That lets me know two things. That you still love Miranda. So I really believe like Calvin was begging Miranda to like come back home. Let's work it out. Let's try to figure this out because I want to be with you. I really believe that's what was happening with. I guess after he realized, like we're done, like she's not coming back, he kind of moved on. But he didn't really move on. He didn't really move on. He moved on in a place that was littered with memories of them as a married couple. To me, moving on means making the clean sweep. It doesn't really feel like Calvin did. Calvin kind of lingering there. And so that gets me to thinking about Miss Ella. And I said, dang. I said, Miss Ella can't figure out why she doesn't like Laura. She just knows that something in her spirit don't sit right about Laura. And I don't think it's about Laura. I don't think there's nothing off about Laura. I think Laura was mad when she came to that woman's house and she felt neglected and overlooked. But I don't think that meant that Laura was, problematic. And so, what if Miss Ella's dislike of Laura has nothing to do with Laura, but everything to do with Miranda and Calvin? What if everything that's going on between Miss Ella and Laura all has to do with her believing that maybe she knows that Calvin and Laura are not going to make it down that aisle? And don't nobody know a child like the mama of the child. I think Miss Ella subconsciously believes that Calvin is going to figure out that he doesn't really love Laura, that he still cares for Miranda and that they're gonna get back together. That's what I really believe is going on with Miss Ella. I think that she doesn't want to waste the time of getting close to that woman because she knows that her son is not gonna make it down the aisle with Laura. She knows that. I think that's what it is. I really honestly believe, cause you living in this woman's house. You living in this house, this apartment where you and this woman were married for however many years y'all were married for. I think that first set of seasons we got, I think it was about 5 of them. So they was together for about, she came in about the 3rd season, I think. They was together for about 3 years as far as the show was concerned. And so I'm a big believer in right person, wrong time. I'm a big believer in that. I believe that it's possible for people to have met the right person, but it's just not the time for them to be together. Like, I really believe that. But I think if you're entwined with yourself and you're entwined with God, then you know these things. Like, you know, like the. And I don't even believe like Miranda and Calvin couldn't have worked it out. I believe they could have. But y'all remember the episode when Calvin got drunk and he called Miranda over and he was basically pouring his heart out to her. I also believe that a drunk mind speaks a sober truth. A sober truth. Meaning that Calvin may have been drunk, but Calvin wasn't drunk enough to have called his ex, basically spilled his guts to her, told her that he wanted to get back with her. And it not be true. It just be a drunken mistake. I believe in drunken mistakes, but I don't believe in them kind of drunken mistakes. And so, damn, I dug my hand in the blush. And so, I really honestly feel like Miss Ella feels like Laura ain't gonna be there much longer. Like, I feel like Miss Ella thinks that they're not gonna make it down the aisle. That's what I think. I think that's gonna come out. I really do believe that's gonna come out. I believe that's gonna come out in a big way. It's gonna come out one of 2 ways. Calvin, they get into the wedding, and Calvin, or they breaking it off before the wedding, like before the wedding, and Calvin like basically admitting to his family, not to Laura, but to his family, that he still has feelings for Miranda, and that Laura was like a means to like get rid of his feelings. But by being with Laura, he realized more that his feelings for Miranda were still there. And this girl, like, she just, I don't know. She can't get close to Miss Ella. And I think it's because of Miss Ella. I think it's because of Miss Ella. Miss Ella don't want to get close to her because Miss Ella gonna feel guilty for realizing that Calvin ain't finna marry her. He ain't finna marry her. He still want his ex-wife. And I believe that. I really believe that he still wants Miranda. I really believe that with my heart and soul that he still wants her. He was mad with her because she left him and he begged her to come back and she wouldn't come back. And I believe men, they are sensitive beings. I've been watching this podcast. I've been listening to this podcast, and this podcaster had this like dating coach on there, marriage life coach on there. And he basically like said in so many words, men are sensitive beings. Women, we're sensitive, but we're more vocal with our sensitivity. Men, they go off of vibes. They go off of how you act, what you say. You know what I mean? The things you do, your movements. Which is why you have to be careful about how you move around men because they can pick up on it. And they're sensitive about certain things. A man that hasn't got himself together is sensitive about the fact that he's not together. And so he's never going to entertain, certain things with a woman when he know that for real, he ain't got it together like that. So yeah. And so I don't know, I just kind of feel like Calvin got himself together for Miranda. He got himself together with the hopes that Miranda would come back and realize that she wanted to be with him. So I got this wine colored lip liner from Juvia's Place, and I've worn it one time. And I looked it crazy with it on. So now I'm here to try it again. The lip liner is really creamy. But I'm gonna go in with this right here. What is this? This is Fortune Cookie NYX lip gloss. I'm gonna go in with this on here. I'm just gonna see how it's gonna look. Right now, I'm not feeling this. I am not feeling this at all right now. Yeah, I'm not feeling this at all. It's not bad, but it's not me. Like I can't get with it. I can't get jiggy with this. I'm not feeling it at all. And I'm gonna come back to my lips because I don't know how I'm gonna fix that. But shit. Hold on. I was thinking about it last night. I said, okay, this tonight would be a perfect night for me to bring it up because I was trying to figure out how I was gonna bring this back up, and I said, okay, yeah, this how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just come back on camera and do it. I'm gonna go in with no. I'm just gonna go in with Browned Out by I like that. I like that lip pencil. Then I'm just gonna go in with the same lip gloss, butter gloss, and Fortune Cookie. I'm just gonna put that all over that lip. Much better. Much. Going with this gloss by Sephora. I'm just gonna gloss that up. I'm actually liking the way like my under eye looks. Like I actually wouldn't mind going in a little bit and baking a little bit with it because I think that's gonna eat. Cause like I like that. I'm gonna let that sit for a few minutes and we're gonna talk for a few seconds. TikTok had got me like intrigued in that storyline. I was like hooked. I said, okay, what's really tea here, Miss Ella? Like what you really got going on? Like what's your real beef with this girl? Because she hasn't done anything to you for you not to like her. I'm just gonna line my eyes real quick. That's not my best line job, but that's about as good as it's gonna get tonight. Okay, so now that this has sat for a little while, I'm not going to just stop. I'm going to go right in with my powder milk. And I've been wanting to try this since I got it because I seen how good it did with that Maybelline Fit Me. And I know it's gonna eat with this. And like it's giving like dewy. So this is gonna get like glass skin. So I'm just gonna go in with this, okay? So tell me your thoughts on my makeup, of course, but also tell me your thoughts on the House of Pain, everything I talked about today. You know what I mean? Have you used this setting powder? Like I said, I had my like qualms with it before. You know, I just wasn't feeling it like that. But like looking at it now, like I think for the summertime, this is gonna be like a real nice little setting powder to use. So yeah, I like that a lot. TikTok been had me hooked to that. So yeah. I probably would have never thought to look at it had TikTok not, you know, told me, girl, go look at this. Like, pay attention. Something ain't right here. I hate to say it, and I love Miss Ella, but Miss Ella told on herself. Like, she basically said that she had no reason to dislike the girl, but she disliked her. So, can we really get mad with Laura for calling out what she was already feeling and what Miss Ella had already called out about herself? Can we get mad with her for that? I don't think we can. I think it's wrong that we get mad with her for that. That's just my opinion. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. I do have more reviews coming later. I do have more makeup videos coming later because I will be getting more products. I have more products, like, you know, I'm never a shortage of products over here. So like, y'all know, tune in, check me out, and let's get it popping, because this is what I'm into right now. TV shows and makeup and YouTube. This is what I'm into right this minute. So if y'all interested in anything I'm interested in, subscribe. Don't be scared to join the fam. I mean, we're 97 strong over here. I want to be 1 million strong over here. So yeah. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. I hope you like it, and I will see you soon next one. Bye. Ambrescorner, the evolution of me.